The character Scribe has always enjoyed exploring virtual spaces, whether it is mind wandering or daydreaming or sleep dreams or creating virtual spaces in her courses that she teaches in the online realm. But when certain events start to happen to her, some unlikely events, she has this internal battle going on between her rational self and her dreamer self, who wants to believe that these strange events are actually happening, and then the rational part of her is dealing with what skeptics always put forth as explanations for these unlikely events that probably are not happening, but people imagine that they are happening, that haven't been proven by science. And I think theorists deal with this, where skeptics say, okay, well, these things that you're observing can be explained away by, for example, subconscious expectancy or confirmation bias, that you're seeing what you want to see, or law of averages, or let's see, what are some other plain lucky guesses, logical inferences, that all of these things put together, however, that things that you don't expect keep happening. And I think theorists, where they don't have the tools to prove their theory yet, use the resources that are available to them. And now what we have with the advances of technology and also improving the modes of communication where we can pool knowledge and share ideas, I think a lot of theories will be proved or disproved faster because we have this means to share information. And it's an interesting concept to think that a lot of these theories that people have about things that might not be able to be measured, I mean, a lot of things that deal with the mind, how do you measure what's going on in your head unless you have somebody else in your head analyzing your thoughts and how you make connections from one idea to the next, for example. And with a wandering mind, the character Scribe in the early days of when she was experiencing strange events had this interference between her rational mind butting in when her dreamer self wanted to believe that certain things were happening, and this lack of knowledge that she had where she was battling internally with what could be possible, what was real, and she didn't have any information before the team was formed in the internet. Through her gut, figures out who is communicating with her telepathically. And so this team is formed from all of these people that she has never met before, but that she notices strange coincidences keep happening. And she has been scouring social media and any kind of virtual space to prove when, for example, strange events happens, what lines up with time. And as much as her rational self doesn't want to believe, these things keep happening. And so what her rational self keeps saying, and I think it was in TechGnosis, where any kind of advance in technology, strange events start to happen to people. Like when the telegraph came out, people started to hear strange thumps and rhythmic beating, kind of like a ghost in their house. And so is it because of this new technology that is kind of becoming ingrained in our being that our imagination kind of goes from there, because it's trying to deal with the unexplained, trying to make connections with what is known, maybe, with, okay, well, there might be ghosts, so maybe that's the reason why these thumps are being heard. Or when the telephone started to become mainstream, people started hearing voices. That's part of Scribe's whole problem, is her rational self keeps telling her, well, maybe that's not right. And it's good to have that counterpoint to her dreamer self, who wants to believe, yes, this phenomenal, strange event is actually happening. But I think it's good to have the skeptic in you, and as well as the dreamer in you. And I think theorists deal with that a lot. They have to have an inner skeptic. But if things that keep happening and your gut keeps telling you that something needs to be studied more, well, study it more with other resources that you have. And now that we are in a day and age of global communication, it's a lot easier to share knowledge and create a knowledge pool to see if other people are observing these events as well. And I think, and all these other people who were maybe in mental institutions that heard people but never had the chance to confirm or deny what's going on. Maybe they were really hearing voices telepathically, but there was no way to prove it. And if they share this information with other people who absolutely did not believe in a phenomenon like that, they would get institutionalized. So those are some ideas that I'm working on for a wandering mind.